वेलकम टू बायोटिक वर्ल्ड। क्या आपने कभी ऐसी किसी टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में सुना है जिसके द्वारा हम प्लांट्स की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स के अंदर इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं, और कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स को इम्प्रूव करने के बाद हमें जो बेनिफिट्स मिलेंगे वो कैसे होंगे, उनके अंदर हमें क्या क्या चेंजेस मिलेंगे? अगर नहीं, देन आज की हमारी यह वीडियो आपके लिए है। उस टेक्नोलॉजी का नाम है प्लांट ब्रीडिंग टेक्निक। आज की इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे डेफिनेशन एंड नेचर ऑफ प्लांट breeding and role of plant breeding, challenges before plant breeder, objectives of plant breeding, activities of plant breeding, and the history of plant breeding. Now let us discuss about the plant breeding definition. Plant breeding is the art, science, and technology of changing the heredity of plants फॉर ह्यूमन वेलफेयर। सो प्लांट ब्रीडिंग क्या है? एक आर्ट है, एक साइंस है और एक टेक्नोलॉजी है जिसके द्वारा हम प्लांट्स की हेरिडिटी के अंदर चेंजेस कर सकते हैं फॉर ह्यूमन वेलफेयर। नाउ लेट्स सी अबाउट द नेचर ऑफ द प्लांट ब्रीडिंग. Plant breeding aims to improve the various characteristics of plants so that they become more desirable agronomically and economically. So here the importance of the plants are in with the help of art, science and technology. Now let's see about the art. In earlier days, man depends on the skills and judgment in selecting better plants. He knows nothing about the inheritance of characters, role of environment in producing them, and the basis of variation in various plant characters. His method of selection was designed without the understanding of principle of inheritance. So पहले के टाइम में क्या होता था कि जो ह्यूमंस थे वो अपनी स्किल्स और जजमेंट के बेसिस के ऊपर बेटर प्लांट्स को सिलेक्ट करते थे, फिर उनके अंदर ब्रीडिंग कराते थे। देन नेक्स्ट जो जनरेशन आती थी उसके अंदर हमें चेंजेस देखने मिलते थे। लेकिन क्या था, ही नो नथिंग अबाउट द इनहेरिटेंस ऑफ करेक्टर। लेकिन उसको किसके बारे में नहीं पता था? इनहेरिटेंस मीन्स हमारी फादर्स से जो ऑफस्प्रिंग होते हैं उनके अंदर कैरेक्टर्स कैसे आते हैं और इन्वायरमेंट का जो रोल होता है प्लांट की प्रोडक्शन में, एंड द बेसिस ऑफ वेरिएशन इन वेरियस प्लांट कैरेक्टर्स। और जो डिफरेंट टाइप की वेरिएशंस प्लांट के अंदर आती हैं जैसे कंटेमिनेशन के द्वारा या फिर अन्य म्यूटेशन फैक्टर के द्वारा। सो इन सभी चीज़ों के बारे में जो हमारे अर्लीस्ट फार्मर्स थे उनको नहीं पता था। सो ये क्या हो गई? एक आर्ट हो गई। आर्ट के अंदर हम क्या करते हैं कि हमारी स्किल्स को यूज़ करते हैं, राइट? Therefore, during primitive time, plant breeding was largely an art and very less science was involved in that. Even today, success of selection depends upon the ability of the person involved in the selection. Now let us see about the science. Plant breeding is considered as the current phase of the crop evolution. As the knowledge of genetics and other related science progressed, plant breeding became less art and more science. जैसे हम अब यूज़ करते हैं प्लांट ब्रीडिंग को, इसके अंदर हम म्यूटेशंस कराते हैं, मींस वेरियस टाइप ऑफ द ह्यूमन इन्वॉल्वमेंट प्लांट ब्रीडिंग के अंदर चेंज लेकर आता है। Especially discovery of Mendel's work in 1900 added a lot to the knowledge of the science. Selection of desirable plant even today is an art. It depends on the skills of a person, but alone skill is not enough. Modern plant breeding is a combined effect of art and understanding and use of genetic principles. Now let us see why through technology. Products of all plant breeding activities, whether dependent on the art or science, is improved variety, hybrids, synthetics, and composites. These products is highly utilized by farmers for commercial cultivation. Plant breeding can be rightly reviewed as a technology since it generates a useful product. Now let us see about the role of plant breeding. Human beings are dependent on the plants for food, shelter, clothing and fuels. In case of food, breeding of field crops provides us food either directly or indirectly. Second is shelter. In addition to food, by-produce of agriculture farms are used in making shelter by farmers for rural areas. Third is clothing. Breeding for fiber crops like cotton provides clothes for the human population. Fourth one is fuels. Crops like euphorbia and cetropa are used for biofuel production. Breeding of such crops tackles the problems of energy production for rapidly increasing human population. Nowadays, maize is also used as an important source of ethanol production. Now let us see fifth one is drugs. Breeding of medicinal plants play an important role in production of many important drugs. These drugs are used for treatment of various human and animal diseases. Sixth one is entertainment. Flowers play an essential role in people's celebrations and everyday lives like weddings, Christmas, etc. Most of the medicinal plants are seasonal in nature. Shifting the seasonal timing of reproduction is a major goal of the plant breeding efforts to produce novel varieties that are better adapted to local environments and changing climatic conditions. Now, let us see on challenges before plant. First one is increasing population. At present, the world population stand at 6.3 billion and will reach at 10 to during the next 50 to 70 years. The main problem from breeding respect is that the population is growing faster than increase in food productivity. To reduce the use of harmful agrochemicals and to produce nutritious and healthful food is greater today. Second is squeezing arable land. Day by day, the total arable land for agriculture is decreasing due to the urbanization and industrial development. Breeders have to tackle this by releasing improved varieties of major crops which gives better production per unit area. Next is erratic rainfall. In India, rainfall is erratic, unpredictable, and unevenly distributed. Over 80% of the annual rainfall is received in the 4 rainy months of the June to September. Therefore, varieties which can tolerate dry spells and perform better at low water availability are needed to be developed by Indian breeders. इरेटिक रेनफॉल इंडिया के अंदर जो टेम्परेचर है या फिर जो रेनफॉल एक्टिविटी है उसको हम मेज़र नहीं कर पाते, जिसके कारण क्या होता है हमारी क्रॉप्स में एंड सोइल में म्यूटेशंस आ जाती हैं और जो उनकी प्रोडक्शन को रिड्यूस कर देती हैं. Next is mechanization. The variety developed by plant breeders should give response to application of fertilizers, manures, irrigation and should be suitable for mechanical cultivation. Now let us discuss about the objectives of plant breeding. The prime objective of plant breeding is to develop superior plants over the existing ones in relation to their economic use. The objectives of plant breeding differ from crop to crop. A brief account of some important objectives are higher productivity. In this higher productivity, increased yield being the ultimate aim of most plant breeders, this can be achieved by developing more efficient genotype, having greater physiological efficiency. अब हायर प्रोडक्टिविटी के अंदर क्या है कि प्लांट ब्रीडर्स का जो एम है वो है कि हमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन करा सके और फिजियोलॉजिकली मीन्स जो इन्वायरमेंटल जो चेंजेस होते हैं उनके अंदर भी वो ग्रो करने के काबिल हो. Next is about the improved quality. Improved quality of agriculture products has contributed a lot to the human well-being. Quality characters from one crop to another crop. For example, grain size, color, milling, and baking qualities of wheat. Like if a plant from different environmental conditions, they should have different physiological characteristics. Third is disease and insect resistance. Resistance varieties offer the cheapest and the most convenient method of disease and insect management. In some cases, they offer only feasible means of control, like in rust in wheat. Next is the varieties for new seasons. The variety for new seasons have been developed by adjusting the growth cycle of the variety to suit better to the available growing season. Traditionally, maize is a kharif crop, but scientists are now able to grow maize throughout the year. Similarly, moong is now grown as a summer crop in addition to the main kharif. Next is modification of agronomic characteristics. Modification of agronomic characteristics such as plant height, branching, erect or trailing habit, etc. is often desirable. For example, draftness in cereals is generally associated with losing resistance and fertilizer responsiveness. Next is change in maturity duration. It permits new crop rotations and often extends the crop area. Development of wheat varieties suitable for late planting has permitted rice wheat rotation. This objective is more desirable, especially in those areas where multiple cropping system has been followed. Now, next is photo and thermo insensitivity. Development of photo and thermo insensitive wheat and photo-insensitive rice varieties has permitted their cultivation in new areas. For example, cultivation of wheat in Kerala and West Bengal, cultivation of rice in Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. Next is synchronous maturity. Synchronous maturity is highly desirable in crops where several picklings are necessary. For example, moong bean, pigeon pea, and cotton, etc. Next is non-shuttering characteristics. It would be of great value in crop like moong, castor, soybean, etc., where shuttering is a major problem in case of many commercial varieties. Next one is determinate growth. Development of varieties with determinate growth is desirable in crops like moong, pigeon pea, and cotton, etc. More topics we will discuss in our next video. Subscribe your own YouTube channel, that is Biotic World. Your knowledge, your power. And thank you for giving your precious time.